I'm going to show you how to replace the catalytic converters on this Ram 1500. This vehicle has the 3.6 liter V6 engine. If you need parts for your vehicle, you can get those at 1aauto.com. Let's get started. Remove the wheel, use a 22mm socket, take the lug nuts off. And remove the wheel. Take these screws out. I'm going to use an 8mm socket. There's a couple screws back here. Use the same 8mm socket. And we got some push pins. Just use some trim tools. Just pop these out. Sometimes they break. Sometimes it helps to use two trim tools. Oh, that just broke. That's okay. There's another one right here. Pull that out. Underneath, we can see where there's some retainers. Just want to pop those out. And those are just holding a shield on. Out. And just slide the inner fender well out. And disconnect the connector for the O2 sensor. Just push down on this tab. If you need to, you can use a straight blade screwdriver on the other side and just push the tab down. And it slides off. This right here, that's what I'm pushing down with the screwdriver. Just push that down. Then you can disconnect that. Slide the wire out of the retainer right there. Now I'm going to use an O2 sensor socket. This is a 7/8 socket that has a slice in it. You could use a 7/8 wrench or a 22mm wrench. Loosen this up. Once you get it pretty loose, you should be able to do it by hand. And slide that out. We're going to do the same, take out the downstream O2 sensor. We're going to disconnect the connector for the downstream O2 sensor. Just reach back here, push down on the tab, and slide the connector back towards the back side of the vehicle. It's the same type of connector. And slide that retainer off. Now, if you want to, you can take the O2 sensor off here. It'd be easier. Or you can take it off when the converter's completely off the vehicle. Use the same 7/8 O2 sensor socket. And just loosen that up. Once that's loose, you can do it by hand. And slide that out. We're going to take these bolts out. You can see 3 of them right here. There is one more underneath. We're going to use a 10mm socket. Take these out. Oh, one of them broke. So I got the other bottom bolts out, and this is loose. You can slide the gasket off. There's the gasket. Underneath here, you want to take the two nuts off that are right here. Unfortunately, these are rotted away. You're going to use a 13mm socket. Hopefully yours come off. We're going to cut the studs right here because the new catalytic converter has studs on it. So I'm just going to do that this way. Just grab the catalytic converter and it slides right out. Now you just want to clean up the surface area where the seal was, the exhaust seal was. You can use a scraper or a razor blade. It's not too bad. You can just wipe it with a rag, maybe a little brake parts cleaner. Now that's cleaned up pretty good. We're going to take the seal. You can take the two bottom bolts because the bottom of the converter is slotted, so that will just slide over the bottom bolts. So now we'll slide the converter up and then just put it on the two bolts right there. Slide it through and on those bolts. Put the two top bolts in. Just get those started. Now you want to make sure the flange lines up underneath. There we go. That's lined up. Get the nuts started. You don't want to tighten these down yet. You want to tighten the other bolts down first, up top. But at least get these started. That's good, because this can move around a little bit. That's fine. We're going to snug these bolts down. Now we're going to torque these bolts to 17 foot-pounds. All right, that's tight. Now we'll tighten these two nuts down. You just want to go back and forth, try to do it evenly. And torque these to 22 foot-pounds. Take the O2 sensor, you can put a little dab of anti-seize on there. Get that started. And if you can get a torque wrench on there, you want to torque that to 32 foot-pounds. Go. Slide that off and take the connector, connect the connector, lock the connector down and take the wire retainer and slide that over the pipe. Take the upstream O2 sensor, get that lined up. Start it by hand. And we'll torque this to 32 foot-pounds. good. Now connect the connector, line that up. Lock it down. And slide the retainer. And the procedure is going to be the same for the other side. Take the inner fender liner, line that up. And get the bolts started. These two on the side, there's this little trim panel. I'll put that up. Get that to line up. And the wiring harness retainer, you want to slide that in place right here. There. And the push pins, get those lined up. Push those in place. And anywhere else you had a push pin. Now tighten all the screws down. Install the wheel. Put the lug nuts on. Snug those down. Now we're going to torque the lug nuts to 130 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. Just go around again, double check. Well, I hope this video helped you out, and if you need parts for your vehicle, make sure you get those at 1aauto.com, and you can watch all those repair videos to help you with your installs. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe to our channel, ring the bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our videos.